Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. As you can probably hear, this is a car cast. I'm currently somewhere on the M1, or is it the A1? I think it's the A1, the A1M. Either way, I'm driving north. I'm off to visit my mum, or mother, or ma'am, as she would be to anyone from Newcastle. But obviously, I'm driving in the car by myself. So, strapped up the old recorder, and I'm going to share the journey with you, if that's alright, and a few big finishes. First up, Torchwood number 26, The Green Life. Now, as you know, huge fan of Torchwood, and they've decided to go in a whole new direction. Well, not a new direction, obviously. It's still the good old-fashioned Torchwood on audio, which means small cast, yep, check. Nice intimate stories, but lately, this new direction is something that's guaranteed and designed to appeal to us. Well, me. Because what they've done is they've got old Doctor Who monsters and they've paired them up here. New Torchwood, old monsters. You know, just like old Doctors, new monsters. Yeah, well, it's exactly the same but the other way around. Works totally well. I have no issues with that at all. Last time we had the Fendal in a rather quaint, really well executed story with Gwen. Well, now we've got a special guest star. Jo Jones. Jo Grant. In Torchwood. Oh, I love these Doctor Who crossovers, I do. And it's not just Jo, it's Jo and Jack together. And it's a sequel to The Green Death. Here's a big, fantastic list of gorgeousness. Like, if you've not done Torchwood, or you've experienced the TV series and you're old school fans and you found Torchwood just a little bit icky, you've avoided the audio, so this is an ideal starting point to make you go, you know, it's not what I thought it was. But yes, now, there is an argument out there that Doctor Who and Torchwood, increasingly, especially towards the last seasons of Torchwood, became chalk and cheese. The universes diverged massively. There was storylines happening in the Torchwood universe that weren't even mentioned or hinted at in Doctor Who. And if they had been in Doctor Who, the Doctor would have turned up and fixed things. Because they were big problems. They weren't just little fiddly things. I didn't like this. The biggest thing Torchwood should ever really be dealing with is some sort of Cthulhu-type monsters. Ancient elder gods striding the earth. And that should be about as big as it gets. The nonsense that happened in the last season, and possibly the last two seasons of Torchwood, well, they were just plain odd. That's on TV. Audio, however, its feet are firmly back under the table and it's fine. Yes, the ongoing series, the aliens amongst us and then the gods amongst us, they've been great, but it's the monthly range that really has my heart. Why? Well, just like old monthly Doctor Who, you've got the characters, they're not going anywhere. We already know who dies, we already know who lives, that's just the way of things. That's one of the reasons I don't really enjoy the experience of listening to the Gods Amongst Us and Aliens Amongst Us series. I'm just on edge all the time, expecting characters to be killed off. I know what Russell's like. He just likes taking people out. It's not nice. It's really not good. On the subject of which, Russell T Davies has got a brand new series coming out. I think it's called Years and Years. I could be wrong. But basically, it's the next few decades. It's a sort of what if. logical progression of characterization and actors and things like that. It's a sort of sci-fi that could be brilliant to watch right now, but could age horribly in the future. But by then, of course, it'll be the future, and we'll be able to look back and go, oh, the moon never did drift away, did it? Oh, the energy riots, well, they never happened because they discovered the massive depository of helium-3 under the sea. Or something along those lines. So what have we got? Well, as I said, we've got basically a sequel to The Green Death. I mean, everyone loves The Green Death, right? It's just one of those stories, the one with the maggots. If you're a Pertwee fan, it's right up there. The effects are acceptable. It's a 6-parter, so you get your money's worth. And there's all sorts going on. There's artificial intelligence, there's giant speaking computers with ideas above their station, there's giant maggots, there's an ecological... Did I say ecological? There's an ecological storyline that's had a profound effect on a whole generation of Doctor Who fans on a level the authors and the producers couldn't possibly have thought would. And of course it's got the emotional impact because it's the story where Jo leaves. It's a microcosm of the Pertwee era. The only thing it's missing is the Master's not in it for obvious reasons. Everyone loves the original. The problem here is there's just not enough of it. You've got to squeeze up the entirety of a plot that's very similar, if anything that's its flaw. You've got to squeeze up the plot, a plot that is quite similar to the original, into 1 hour plus storyline. And it does feel, well, not rushed, because obviously pacing isn't an issue. People are very good at their jobs. It just feels like you were going, oh, we could have had more of that. What about that? Oh, but what about this? But you're old enough and ugly enough to be able to fill in the gaps yourself. That's what sci-fi is all about, isn't it? Filling in the gaps. And yes, the exciting world of veganism. Yes, I did say that sentence correctly. The exciting and very popular world of veganism these days, well, that just kicks in. That's fine. That's all dealt with here. Because that's what Torchwood's about. It's about looking at new trends and going with them. Yeah, ish. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what I mean. Look. Perfectly good story. Really well acted. Katie Manning is just great as Jo. Because Katie and Jo are very different people. But they just work. Barrowman treats the work with respect and just pulls it off nicely. So as I said, if you're thinking about coming along to this storyline and going, oh, I don't know about Torchwood, what about this one? Yes, this is a good one to go with. You don't need to have experienced any of the others. You might need to have seen The Green Death. As a sideline, there's a certain actor involved in this, with a certain voice. Now, I actually thought it was the bloke who played Slarty Bartfast in the new Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie. I say new, it's only like 15, 20 years old now. But it's not. So if you're looking for someone who could play that part, look no further. Right, I'll play you the trailer, and then I'll discuss the monsters of Gokroth. So until next time, be seeing you.
So, any of this familiar?
Well, it's a coal mine. Everything looks a bit samey.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions. Torchwood, The Green Life.
It's why they're calling Llanfairfach the Valley of the Future.
You sound skeptical.
It's changed, Jack. This place, it's lost something.
Despair? Deprivation?
No. Soul.
Proper Grub, the leading brand of protein-rich meat alternatives. Perhaps if I could sleep or dream, the nights might bring me mercy.
Oh, hello.
Don't make friends with the maggots.
Well, they're not hurting anyone.
Yet.
Look, Jack, look at the way it's looking at us. It's inquisitive and intelligent. Maybe they're more peaceful. Well, perhaps they're coming right at us.
Big Finish. We love stories.
Stop thinking about the past, Joe. This time, you're with Torchwood.
That was the Doctor Who Tin Dog podcast, available on iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, RSS, Vimeo, and across the internet. Doctor Who and its associated properties are all copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Why not become a supporter by visiting patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.